Hey guys, and welcome to Thursday, the 19th of November's workout of the day. So, I'm going to get you to start with 4 rounds of 5 athletic burpees. Just remember the athletic burpee is we don't go all the way to the floor. So, into the plank position and then back up from there. 10 scap press-ups. So with the scap press-up, major mistake that gets made there is that people kind of bend through the elbow and end up doing a little bit more of a press-up. So the one thing to think about is locking those elbows into place. There's no bend in the elbow at all. We're going to sink through the shoulder blades and push up through the shoulder blades. It's a really tiny range of motion, but there's no bend in the elbow. 15 air squats. And then 20 shoulder rotations. Use a band or a stick or a towel or a jumper, anything. Okay? So 4 rounds of that, nice and thorough. Then for the strength, I'm going to get you guys to do some seated strict press today. So sitting against a wall. And I'm going to use the rig as my example. So the beam of the rig is literally right there, the edge of the camera. I am going to get my bum right up against my wall. My legs are going to be straight out in front of me. If your hamstrings are too tight for this, then keep your legs straight, but go into a little bit more of a V. We want the legs to be straight. So I'm going to get my bum, my shoulder blades, and my head all glued to my wall, or whatever it is that you're leaning against. Throughout all of the pressing, those 3 points of contact will stay on the wall. Okay, so bum, shoulder blades, and head. I'm going to take my weight, my single weight. You can do this with a barbell. It's a little bit harder, so I really do recommend doing this with a dumbbell or a kettlebell. I'm going to keep everything nice and tight. I'm going to try to draw my belly button and smush my lower back into my wall. And I'm going to press up, keeping my weight as close to the wall as I can, and down. And I'm keeping all points of contact against the wall. Now the rep scheme, it says between 10 and 20. It really is going to depend on what weight you have and how spicy that is for the overhead position. However, being in a seated position does make these much more challenging. So I anticipate you'll be able to do lower reps perhaps than if you were standing tall. So between 10 and 20, that means between 5 and 10 on each arm. The last rep should be pretty spicy, but I don't want you to peel away from the wall with any of your points of contact. Okay, so all those reps need to be with your bum in between your shoulder blades and your head touching the wall. It should feel like an RPE of about 8.5 or 9. Okay, so you finish that last rep and you're like, whew, I could probably maybe do 2 more, definitely 1, maybe 2. That's about what we're aiming for. So when you've finished your set on each arm, you're then going to get up and just do 5 of our TWYs. If you don't have any tiny weights, best thing to grab is a couple of tins from the cupboard, and that'll do just fine. Okay, so our T, arms out to the side, our W, out to the side a little bit more, and then our Y, closer to the head. So 1, this would be 2, and you'll do 5 of those all together. Okay, so we're going to do 6 sets of our seated strict press and our TWYs. After you've done your 6 sets of those, then we've got a 15-minute AMRAP on the board. The movements for the 15-minute AMRAP are 10 jumping squats. So with the jumping squat, the 2 things I want to see is you guys reaching that depth and the feet actually leaving the floor, okay, on the jumping squat. Not just your toes coming up. I want to see you leaving the floor. 15 swings, so kettlebell or dumbbell. So you can swing a dumbbell, holding the dumbbell with the head, and obviously that would be a Russian swing, so just up to the forehead. If you have a lighter kettlebell, by all means, go full American swing, just to get a little bit more oomph out of that. Then, you're going to do 20 bicycle crunches. Hopefully you can see me okay. Not that I'm particularly good at these, but for the bicycle crunch, smash my head on something. There we go. Get your hands behind your head or on the side of your head, feet up, and we're going to try to touch opposite elbow to opposite knee in the middle. 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Those get spicy. And then the last movement is 25 weighted step-ups. So this is in lieu of a box jump. If you have got a box, I still want you to do weighted step-ups instead. If you have something that's not very high to step up to, then I'm either going to ask that you try to get creative and create something a little higher, or step up 2 or 3 stairs if you have a flight of stairs in your house, just to get that little bit more length through the stride. And I want you guys holding, and you can hold it any way you like, in the goblet position, down by the side, on your back, holding a weight to make it more challenging. Want to make sure no matter what you do step up onto, that you are coming to full extension at the top of that step. Okay, so you're stepping up, standing tall before you come back down again. So we just want to make that as spicy as possible. As I said, it's weighted step-ups, not jumps. So even if you do have a box, it's still going to be weighted step-ups. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a fabulous session.